My amplified unit, salute, amped up for Saturday, the 26th of April of the year 2025. Channel members, you're probably getting this late on the 25th of April, still Friday night, just hours off of that huge amped up we just put out. Hunter Helmsley saying fuck you again to the fans, and Dwayne and Helmsley both doing their best to expose the business and ruin professional wrestling. How ironic, the story that John Cena currently has, but it seems like Helmsley and Dwayne Johnson are doing everything in their power to completely destroy pro wrestling. That's another story. We covered that in our recent Amped Up. Again, channel members, that was just a few hours ago. For everybody else, you're probably getting this early Saturday morning, so that would be yesterday's Amped Up. Either way, go into the archives, check out that Amped Up. Thousands of you guys already have. You're digging that content. You're loving the discussion we had. I thank you guys big time, man. Obviously, all of the supporters to the channel, from subscribers to channel members, from all you guys that chucked a coffee to the channel recently via the super thanks, making sure you guys get a shout out as well. Smash that up. Not only does it help that algorithm, supports the channel, but it helps BC know that you are fully amplified for an upload like this. Amped Up for Saturday the 26th of April, featuring the Smackdown review for the 25th of April, the post-WrestleMania Smackdown. A show, mind you, that began with a 25-minute back-and-forth promo with Jonathan Cena and Randy Orton. And I gots to tell you from the jump, damn, that was so good. Not surprised at all, because while I was loving every single second of that, Randy was on. Congrats to Randy. Props, I should say, to Randy Orton. He nailed it. He's been getting better and better on the mic as the years go on. But John Cena, once again, just absolutely showing why nobody can hang with this dude on the stick. Not a soul, not a body can hang with this dude. He's that good. And even in 2025, and I'm pretty sure if he had a stick in his hand in 2050, he'd still be crushing it and lighting everybody up that he's in the ring with. It's kind of sad, though, because while I'm watching them light it up, more specifically John Cena, while I'm watching this, I can't help but also think, damn, that's it. The John Cenas, the Randy Ortons, when that is it, and when they are done, for John Cena, it's this year. For Randy Orton, maybe it's a couple years from now. But the sun is setting on those careers. And who's next in the pipeline for WWE? Who's the big Hall of Fame inductions in the future? Who's the big stars that are going to give us those type of promos, that feeling, those moments? Who's left? Is it going to be Carmelo Hayes? Is it going to be Otis? The War Raiders? Solo Sikoa? Because they're not booking anybody to be in those positions. The Braun Strowmans, LA Knight, it's sad to say, but they're not booked to be in a position to make us feel what John Cena and Randy Orton just did on Friday Night SmackDown. And if they don't even get the chance to be such, then the truth is, right, it's a rhetorical question. There is nobody in that pipeline. There is nobody next. There is no next John Cena, next Randy Orton. There's nobody. Stars are not being created. And I'm not even going to spend another minute, not another second, talking Hunter Helmsley and everything that he's botched. But let's be honest, there's no stars being created, at least not properly. So while that was so good with John Cena and Orton, John Cena berating, degrading the crowd, the kids in attendance and saying how they're all losers, and he was more of a father than their own parents. The reason he hadn't had kids is because for 25 years he was too busy raising all of theirs. And here's this 6-year-old in the crowd giving them the middle finger. That says all he needs to know about the loser father, he says. He was just berating them, berating Randy Orton. Orton, with conviction in his words, saying that you want to ruin pro wrestling, John. My whole family, it's third generation. There's no way I can even allow you to ruin pro wrestling. It ain't gonna happen. And John Cena said, there's nothing you could do about it. I'm taking this championship when this year is over. They will have another event. They will create another champion with a tinfoil toy, basically. And you can call yourself a champion, but you will have to start over at 1. You will forever be frozen at 14. Basically saying it's going to be a fake champion because I'm taking the real thing with me. And your legacy, your family legacy, Bob Orton, all of that, it's done. And they just kept going, man. Again, it was like 20 to 25 minutes back and forth, but John Cena was, and it just worked. But I wasn't surprised because it's John Cena, Randy Orton. I mean, when you have those two on your show, just sit back, max relax, and let them drop all the facts. They will put all the puzzle pieces where they need to be. They will sell your event Backlash because that match was made official. They'll do all the work. You ain't got to do nothing. I will just mention this for Hunter Helmsley. This is easy peasy, as Oscar would say. You literally can't screw this up. It's John Cena. It's Randy Orton. Just put the little headset on in Gorilla, shut the mouth, and just let them do their thing. You ain't got to say a word, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Just let them sell it. And they did. And I like the physicality afterwards because it wasn't just Cena eating an RKO. He's eaten two. What does Cody call them? Not the crossroads. Yes, not the Cody Cutters. He's eaten 2 crossroads leading up to that matchup. And then he's already eaten an RKO leading up to this match, and he ate another one. But this time, it was Cena, flips the belt to Randy, and then decks Randy Orton. Gets the upper hand, starts doing some stomps, sets up for, I forgot what he was said. I think he was going to crush him again with the championship. Randy Orton ducks it, and then hits the RKO. So at least they didn't go straight to an RKO. I know, it's the little things. But I told you guys in the last review when he was eating that RKO, I think it was Monday night, I said, dude, we're just seeing John Cena in all his promos talk a good game and then eat a finisher. Every promo is the same. The wordage is great, the verbiage, but then he just eats the person he's about to face's finisher, right? Twice with Cody now, once already with Orton, and now this is twice with Orton. But at least John got some licks in first. Switch it up a little bit. I'll take it, baby steps. But it was really about the substance in the words, setting this match up. Maybe I spent a little long on this, maybe not long enough. That's how good it was. Again, it's Cena, it's Orton, it was great, but it also comes with that thought, right? Subconsciously, you're thinking, damn, that was so good. And we shouldn't have to have that feeling only when John Cena's around. Or if Dwayne Johnson comes back, right? WrestleMania 41 is hanging on Dwayne Johnson. Why is that? Did we ever stop to wonder that? While everybody's blaming Dwayne, or some people, which should be a lot more, but like BC blaming Hunter as well. Both of them are to blame, if you're being honest. But is anybody stopping to think, why are we even doing that? Why is the entire shows surrounding around Dwayne? Well, BC, Dwayne made it that way. No, there's so many other matches that should have made us feel something. And Mania lacked that. And that's what I mean. That's what's missing. We're missing larger-than-life superstars, actual superstars, larger-than-life wrestlers, captivating stories that make you whip the wallet out and say, which card for that event? Gotta get the Netflix subscription, gotta get Peacock, I'll buy it on pay-per-view, whatever. I gotta see these matches, I gotta see this pay-per-view premium live. What makes it premium? Why should I have to pay $10 for a subscription? What is making me do that? These matches I can see on Raw, SmackDown, a house show, and I probably wouldn't even go to it. Nobody's making us feel that. We shouldn't have to just rely on John Cena and Randy Orton. There's gotta be, man. It's been years now, and there's nobody even close. Who's gonna give you these moments, man? Is Austin Theory gonna do it? Is it gonna be Jade Cargill? My answer, honestly, is it going to be Pretty Deadly? Is it going to be John Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa? No disrespect. Is it going to be? Are they going to give you these feelings like John Cena and Randy Orton in that promo? I'm hoping, because it's all we have. That's as amplified truth as I can give you guys, and you know I'm right. So while we're watching what was really a great promo to set up this Backlash match, I know I'm not the only one thinking, Damn, that's it, man. They're the only ones that can give us that. Cody Rhodes and his 5-piece, what do you want to talk about? In the right situation, Cody Rhodes can have some good back and forths. Roman when he shows up, I guess. But it's far too little. But for a night, man, for a promo, for 20 to 25 minutes, we had that feeling, man. John Cena, Randy Orton, really good stuff. We went into a debut. Who was the debut? Fraxium. They're such a good tag team, man. Their stuff in NXT. None of their matches on paper ever draw my attention. Oh man, this is missable. But then when they begin the match, I'm like, no, it's not. Fraxium's gonna show you some shit. And sure enough, Fraxium goes out there. They take out Humberto and Garza. Frazier with the pinfall victory for his team. So Fraxium with a winning debut. Not much more I could say. I'm going off pure just remembrance, guys. There's no notes for this show. I'm just literally going off on what I remember. There was nothing really afterwards. They just went to the backstage where they promoted DIY and Street Profits. So again, just all these random matches that should be big pay-per-view matchups for the tag team division, and they just waste them every Friday in the most meaningless of ways. TLC, right? Tables, ladders, and chairs matchups. Fatal 4-ways. I mean, Street Profits didn't even get a Mania match. You talk about disrespect. They were told, oh, sorry, we already got New Day booked. Well, you got 2 days of Mania. New Day can have a night. What about us? Street Profits got shafted. Swig of coffee. We go into Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill next. So we go Tiffany versus Jade. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. My initial question, why? Why? That type of booking will always be detrimental to the talent, right? Because nobody wins. Face versus face, heel versus heel. Nobody can truly win with this type of matchmaking. Jade will get some cheers. Tiffany will get some cheers. Maybe Tiffany a little bit more than Jade. But it's basically splitting your audience. You're 50-50 in your reaction for no reason. There's no justification. It doesn't lead to anything. The most you can hope for, best you can ask for is that you have a good wrestling match on a wrestling show. What a concept. And this wasn't a bad match per se. It was, at the bare minimum, at least it was entertaining. Jade showing her strength and Tiffany showing all of her attributes on full display. But Jade worked well with her, I felt. But it was all for naught anyway. Naomi would jump in the ring and attack Jade, and I guess this is a consolation prize from Hunter Helmsley. You were looking up at the lights to Jade at Mania. We'll have you go out there on Friday and attack her from behind. So if you're Naomi, yes, you beat me at Mania, but I'm still able to attack you from behind. Victory! I guess. But Naomi did look good in there, wailing away on Jade Cargill, in full control, feeling herself, right? She was looking good in there, and then Tiffany got in the ring, and they had a stare-off. Tiffany Stratton, Naomi. And we all know that's the money match. From the second that we got this type of heel Naomi, this type of badassery, this type of, dare I say, diabolical heel Naomi. The second I started seeing this side of Naomi, I thought Tiffany Stratton. That's the money match. Now, whether they give that title to Naomi eventually or that's just a huge battle, war, maybe over the course of a couple of PLEs. But no matter how they do it, that's where the money could be with this Barbie-type hero like Tiffany and this diabolical new badass heel in Naomi. I could think of 150 ways top of the dome piece creatively that you could go with these two. That's the money. I love seeing that stare-off, and it's just a reminder of how much maybe you did botch WrestleMania. I was okay with Jade going over if you have a distinctive plan for both. But Naomi and Tiffany can only do so much with that stare down because Naomi lost that match. So to lose that and then just start a program with the champion doesn't feel right. So it's just all done so awkwardly. And on the flip side, Tiffany was attacked by Nia Jax after the match. That doesn't make any sense because we've already seen that. We went from Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax to Charlie Flair and Tiffany at WrestleMania, back to Nia and Tiffany? I understand pro wrestling is like a roller coaster, and a roller coaster, you can't always have the high points to the nice drops, right? All the fun stuff, right? There's all the twists and all of that other BS in a roller coaster. I get it. It's not all, the entire 3 or 4 minute coaster isn't all just amazing high points. So that translates to this, right? You can't always have WrestleMania style matchups. You're not always going to get a Tiffany Charlie match all the time. You got to kind of come back to reality every once in a while so that it sets up the higher matchups. I get it, but just going back to Nia and Tiffany, that seems lazy to me. All of this just seems kind of lazy and not well thought out. But when you see who's behind the curtain in Oz, who's the chief of creative and content, you're probably not too shocked. I'll just leave it at that. But the one bright point here, I will say, the one bright spot is that little stare off with Naomi and Tiffany. And Naomi with that look in her eyes, but just getting out of the ring. It is a setup. Even though we're getting there in a weird way, if we even get there, it's at least made you think, all right, that could still be really good, man. So that's what the ladies produced. In a couple of segments, you were going to get another big women's match. It was Zelina Vega going for the U.S. Championship that Chelsea Green currently holds. So up next was Jacoby Fatu and Solo Sikoa's promo. Solo taking all the credit of Fatu holding that U.S. Championship. And Fatu kind of takes the microphone. He's a little pissed off. He said, I told you, Solo, I was going to do this with or without you, and that's what I did. He said, because I'm all gas, no brake. And he tells Solo, and I quote, you better get in where you fit in. And Solo didn't really like that. But before anything else could escalate between the two, LA Knight's music hits. What a pop, by the way. LA Knight's still getting such a good pop after all of this time. After all of this time, you guys remember, he was getting some of the loudest pops, was it 2 years ago? When Hunter was really just starting to really take over, and instead of giving LA Knight even a piece of the rocket, Hunter Helmsley decided to absolutely put the lid on the boiling water. He didn't want anybody even seeing that. Took LA Knight off of big Smackdowns. I believe there was a huge one in Madison Square Garden that year. Took him off of it. Made sure he wasn't even on that show. Kept him off PLEs. That whole little tournament they had for, I believe was it the U.S. title or the IC? I think it was U.S. They had that go over to like Rey Mysterio, I believe, when that should have been LA Knight. Money in the Bank that year should have went to him. It went to Damien Priest because that was the chosen one from Hunter Helmsley. The fans were telling you, and Hunter's response was, well, we just don't know if it's a flash in the pan, so we don't want to give him the rocket. But wasn't it clear after a full calendar year when we were still popping for this guy? He didn't want to do it. Even this year, Jason Uso and the Yeets went over there and LA Knight and still with this pop. My point is, that was a really good pop, and people were kind of... Jacob Fatu was getting a hero's welcome. But when LA Knight's music hit, everybody just rose in a big pop, and it just made you think, even with all of this shit-ass booking the last 2 years, could you guys imagine if Hunter Helmsley gave this dude the proper time of day? If this dude was booked correctly from the jump with the crowd reaction he was getting and the momentum and the lightning in a bottle that WWE had in front of them sitting in their lap. But it wasn't one of Hunter's guys. And LA Knight says that all the interviews. He says, the truth is, I'm just not Hunter's guy. I'm nobody's guy. And I think that's a detriment, right? Because I'm not getting pushed. Because I just don't fall in line and kiss ass. And you have to be if Hunter's going to really push you, or at least be a dude where he can pat you on the head and you'll look at him as Papa H. LA Knight's not that guy. So it's no shock that he hasn't gotten that spot. But I just had to spend a couple of minutes because, man, to watch everybody rise up in that arena, and I'm like, damn, even with all this shit-ass booking, even with a title reign like that, man, that I think it lasted maybe a month. I don't even know. That's how forgettable it was. Which is ironic because Drew McIntyre came out next. And Drew McIntyre starts cutting a promo on Jacoby Fatu, but Jacob Fatu isn't really a face yet. He's still with Solo. So you're setting up a heel versus heel matchup. Again, just makes no sense because now one of them has to out-heel the other. LA Knight then cuts in because Drew, he's like making pretend he's sleeping through Drew's promo. So Drew's like, you're all about the jokes. The only thing that's a joke is your last title reign. So LA Knight says, I would call your last title reign a joke, but I can't remember it. So a cool little thing there. Nick Aldis comes out and decides that there's going to be a number one contenders match for the U.S. Championship that Jacob Fatu holds. It's going to be LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre later in the night. So, hey, at least it's a face versus a heel. Have we seen that match 815 times? Yes. It's a face versus a heel at least. So that's going to be a number one contenders setup. Jacob Fatu's opponent. At that point, we're assuming it's for Backlash. So yeah, I'm okay with that, I guess. And then we went into that title match I was talking about with the lady. We go back to the ladies. This is big because of the outcome. Zelina Vega, little Zelina, who you guys know I'm high on. But I'm also high on Chelsea Green. Neither of these ladies had a WrestleMania moment, not a WrestleMania match. Not a match. And Chelsea's a champion. Lyra had the IC championship. She didn't even have a match. She had a tag team title match. A random partner in Bayley. Then they took Bayley away. They gave her Becky. Won the title for a night. 24 hours later, they're losing it. Lyra's probably thinking right now, days after Mania on this Friday, she's probably thinking, what just happened? Why didn't I defend my singles title at a Mania that is now 2 nights? 2 nights. And you couldn't find a singles opponent for me. Chelsea Green didn't even get a tag match at Mania. She got not a match, not even a moment. So you got to feel bad for these ladies who busted their ass all year. Chelsea Green putting in some of her best work of her career, and to be told you're not going to be on the big show. But maybe Friday Night Smackdown you could be in a match. And if you guys are wondering, man, you talk about a slap in the face to Chelsea. Zelina Vega wins this matchup to Chelsea. Rolls her right up, holds her down. Chelsea squirming, trying to get one shoulder up like a turtle flipped over. She can't do it. 1, 2, and it's going to be 3. And new United States champion Zelina Vega. Congrats to Zelina. There's no way I can take that moment away or rip that apart. I do, and this may be a hot take, but I've watched how much she has busted her ass for years. I have seen her improvement. I know she's actually good, better than how she's been booked. In Puerto Rico, what she did with Rhea Ripley was top notch, and after that, she got shafted, sent back to catering, basically. Fans forgot about it. That's always been in her. So I am more than proud of her. I'm so happy for her. I'm not going to be one of those dumbass fans that yells, you deserve it. But she has absolutely earned that. Now, saying that, on the flip side, Chelsea Green, dude, you talk about being done dirty. You put in your best work of your career, you get this championship, they keep you off of Mania, and then days after Mania, they take the title from you. What are you doing? Chelsea is a really big part of this SmackDown show. She's a big part of that women's division, man. She checks off a lot of boxes, and she's very versatile in how you can use her. Whether on the mic, whatever type of storyline, in a match, she can give you 5 minutes, she can give you 25. She's willing to take all the daredevil moves that you need her to take, all the spots. She's just nearly like a total package. And I just feel like so many talents, management completely overlooks her. I don't understand this title match not being at Mania, or if you're going to take it from her, at least give her a prestigious moment, whether winning a title or losing it, let it be at a big event. But to do this after Mania and just a couple of weeks away from Backlash, that is immense disrespect to your title holders. It just is. There's no way around it. That's a shoot. Zelina Vega wins. So happy for her. Chelsea Green loses her title. I couldn't feel more bad for her, man. That is just, it's not cool. So, but again, it's the theme of WWE under Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's confusing. I don't understand it. We want to tell ourselves, let it play out because it'll all make sense. It'll get better, but it never does. It never makes sense. It doesn't get better. Just gets more weird, more confusing, and just gets worse. Zelina Vega wins the title. I don't know. In that way, I don't know. But with all the talk of somebody that was supposed to be coming back, Mr. Zelina Vega, this was a big night for her. And so, I mean, that was the word anyway. At this point into the show, we were going into the third hour. And the big word that Aleister, right, there is no teaser, let's just say how it is, right? Aleister Black is returning Malachi to WWE, of course, significant other of Zelina. So, I mean, everybody was expecting that. All of a sudden, Zelina gets the championship, and you're like, damn, what a night for Zelina. Swig of coffee will actually go into our number 3. And for full transparency, this was the end of hour number 2 going into hour 3. So, Miz is middle of the ring. This was the re-debut of Aleister Black. Aleister's return to the company right after his significant other, Zelina Vega, just captures championship gold. You got to believe that Hunter set that up. There's got to be cameras backstage, something, right? There's going to be a viral moment, or it's going to be part of Unreal. There's something more at play here. This was absolutely done for some other reasoning. Zelina's coming back with the title. Hunter knows she's going to be in tears and all up in her feels. And there's Aleister because his segment's next. What a moment. There's going to be cameras around, man. There's a bigger reason for that. But Miz is out there to kind of taunt the crowd, egg them on to see Miz get dropped by somebody. Who could it be? Well, it's the worst kept secret in pro wrestling. We all knew Aleister was coming back, but this is the most laziest way you could bring this guy back. But before I get to that and rip it apart, I have to say it's so good to see the dude back. For no other reason at the forefront other than that's where he wanted to be from the jump. There are a lot of these WWE guys, they go over to AEW, and you can tell, a lot of them are telling you from the jump they want to go back, but you can tell they just want to go back to WWE. It's not even AEW's fault. Maybe Tony Khan's booking some of them correctly, but they want to go to WWE. They want to go back. Aleister has always been one of those dudes as Malachi in AEW, just like Miro, Andrade. There's just a plethora of these WWE guys, whether they got released, cut, didn't get re-signed, whichever. They find their way to AEW and it's not clicking. There's some like Ricochet where it's the perfect puzzle piece, right in the spot, right from the jump, right? Ricochet just belongs there. You could tell he's thrilled. That's where he'd rather be. And then there's just people like I just mentioned. Aleister wanted to go back from the jump. He just did. And over time, he just started to make that more and more known. I mean, he was all but saying that in some roundabout ways. But he was basically telling everybody that's what he wants. And I think that Tony Khan realized that pretty quickly as well. But Tony Khan's booking didn't help. I used to think you couldn't botch it more than Vince's booking of Aleister. But somehow Tony Khan did find a way to book him even worse. To the point where Malachi had to one time make a statement like, I don't know why I'm only doing 6-man tags in this trios division. That's not my choice. I'm not getting one-on-ones. It's not my choice. I don't even know why I'm only doing 6-mans. I don't know why Tony only sees that. Because I always said you get somebody like Aleister, I could think of a million ways any given show to get creative with this character, especially how talented he is. So to only see him in 6-man tags, and that's when he was on TV. A lot of weeks he just wasn't. No injury, just wasn't. That was another vid that he did, another statement he put out. No, I'm not injured. I don't know why I'm not being used. Can we all just move on with it? He was starting to get frustrated with his booking in AEW. So that writing was kind of on the wall. So it's just good to see him back for him. You know, that's what he's wanted from the jump. And, you know, like Andrade, like Miro, they found their way back. So that part of it is cool to see. And again, I see him so talented, that character I could get so creative with. I always thought, if done correctly, he could be a main eventer. He's not just some mid-carder like you've seen with Vince or with Tony Khan. But now here's where we can't get ahead of ourselves. A lot of individuals are already oh man, Hunter Helmsley, right? Helmsley's going to know how to book him correct like Black and Gold. He's going straight through the stratosphere. Not so quick. We've said that for so many people, right? I mean, that we've said that with starting with Finn Balor. We said that when Andrade came back. When the Viking Expedition Experience got their name back, the War Raiders, right? Everybody just started going, here we go, Black and Gold. Well, it's not Black and Gold. It's not 10 years ago. It's none of that. Times have changed. Much things are different now. So we hope for the best, obviously. There was a little bit of that NXT presentation with his re-debut. But let's not just anoint him like we're going to go right back to 10 years ago or whenever it was. Because no evidence of that with anybody that was in NXT Black and Gold. So if you're just hoping to relive those experiences, that ship has sailed. Now you have to get 2025 creative with who you have right now. Which brings me to the debut itself. It was lazy. It was beyond forgettable. The crowd in attendance when this segment was done was silent. Now, it took them a while anyway to even get a welcome back chant together. You have a lot of kids who drag their families out, and they don't know what an Aleister even is, right? He was only there for a cup of coffee, it seemed, on the main roster. Then he's in AEW, and you barely even see the dude. So then he comes back. A lot of people aren't flipping out that Aleister's back. Not like most of you in BC, right? Oh, what a moment. A lot of fans are not like that. So it took a while for people to even seem like they cared. I thought that to be expected. But at least have a badass segment that's going to have everybody like, whoa. They had The Miz out there. First of all, dressed in pure white. That was a giveaway that you knew Black was coming out. Just pure white outfit. And he's flipping out about how nobody respects him. And then he says, I'm The Miz, and the lights go out. Aleister comes out. And he kicks Miz upside the dome piece. And I'm not joking. If you didn't see the show, a lot of you guys, you just catch BC's review. And I appreciate that very much. But that was it, guys. He kicked Miz, sat down in his stance, and the crowd was basically silent. I don't think there was cheers. I think people were like, was that it? You know, the parents that don't really watch, they just came with their kid. They're like, is that... What happened to the Ali guy? Ali, what's his name? Ali what? I did not. But I'm right, though? I mean, the parents ain't going to know what's an Aleister. So if you see the crowd reaction, I mean, that tells you that was completely just lazy. Come on, man. Everybody can't debut or re-debut by just beating up Miz, Austin Theory, or... what's his buddy's name there? I don't even know anymore. Grayson Waller. Wow. That's bad, man. That's how poorly booked they are, man. Like a clown show. I mean, I have to really think about who they even are. So that's kind of what we do, though, right? To make a statement, you beat up Miz, Grayson Waller, or Austin Theory. It's got to be more impactful, man. We've already seen Aleister in the company. It didn't work out. Now he's back. What's going to be different? He's out there to beat up Miz, or just kick him in the dome piece. That's it. I just wanted to kick you, and now I'm back. I won't keep going in circles with this. I was not happy with it at all. I mean, you're really hoping for an impactful re-debut so he can really get put on the map, even for the kids, the parents, the casuals that really don't know much about him, don't care about him, but they will after what they just saw. This was just another segment where Miz got beat up. That's my thoughts on it. So good to see the dude. I'm hoping for the best. That's the most laziest way you could bring somebody back. BC, I have no problem with it. It wasn't that bad. It was just a reintroduction. No, you don't start here. You start up here. Raise the bar, raise their standards. I always told my amplified unit that. Raise it. You don't have to lower that, man. You don't have to do that for this company. You don't have to do that for Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Don't lower it to Helmsley's bar. Higher it and demand that Helmsley come up here. Then you went into... That's my thoughts on that. Then we had a convoluted, overbooked number one contenders match for the U.S. Championship. This was LA Knight versus... what's his name? Drew McIntyre. Yes, Drew McIntyre. Was it Solo Sikoa who took out LA Knight, I believe? Then Damien Priest came out, took out Drew McIntyre. Then Jacoby Fatu came out. Jacoby Fatu took out, I think, LA Knight and Damien Priest. Because after Priest took out McIntyre, LA Knight stepped in the face of Priest. And then Jacoby Fatu took them both out. That was pretty... Yeah, it was pretty convoluted. And then Jacoby Fatu just started hitting moonsaults as if he's Io Sky or Tiffany Stratton. You have faces out there, right? You have LA Knight out there. You have Damien Priest. You have Jacoby Fatu, who's kind of playing tweener. And this is bad, but this is how you split your audience, man. I was just talking about how LA Knight got such a huge reaction and reception. You want to build off that. Damien Priest, Hunter Helmsley has been trying to put the rocket on Priest, but it just wasn't time. He botched it. He jumped the shark. It was way too early. So Damien, he wants to get some good cheers. But when it was all said and done, it was Jacoby Fatu that laid everybody out. And the crowd is just fickle. And they spend so much money for these shows, they just want to participate. 20-minute yeet show, right? Just yeeting along for 20 minutes with Jey Uso. 25-minute sing-along with Seth. They want to cheer for everybody. If you just win a title, they just want to yell, you deserve it, even if you're a heel. And in this situation, because Jacoby Fatu looks like the ultimate badass beating everybody up, they want to cheer for you. So when this was done, Jacob Fatu was getting cheered by everybody. Everybody was flipping out. Yeah, you just beat up two of your big baby faces, LA Knight and Damien Priest. Why would you book LA like that? Why would you book Priest like that? You knew Jacoby was going to get cheered, and he's still a tweener. He's still attached to Solo. He's still going to be a heel, right? He's still going to work heel matchups. But just like Braun Breaker and so many others, he's going to, and even Gunther for a period of time, he's going to be a little of a tweener as well. And in the process, you're going to ruin your baby faces. We saw it tonight, guys. We saw it. I'm not just spewing a bunch of BS to you. I'm giving you facts. That's not my thought. That's not my opinion. Go back and watch the end of this segment. Watch Jacob Fatu annihilate these two baby faces and listen to the crowd. And you tell me that's the best way to book any of this? And what are you going to set up? Damien's out there, Drew's out there, Solo's out there, LA's out there, Jacoby's out there. You're setting up a triple threat, fatal 4, fatal 5, fatal 20 way. Just send out the whole roster. I mean, that's basically what we're doing, right? These titles are nothing more than an opportunity to have a bunch of schmozzery, send out a bunch of individuals, take care of a bunch of individuals' TV time, be lazy AF. You don't got to give it much thought. Everybody go out there. Baby faces, heels, won't matter. Try to get a reaction. Doesn't matter who's getting ruined in the process. I don't understand why you would do this. I don't understand why you would have Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton in a match together when both are baby faces. You're trying to get Jade over. That was the whole point of her beating Naomi. Tiffany just beat Charlie, so you put them together and you split your audience? An hour and change later, you have all your baby faces together with some tweeners? And the tweener gets a bigger reaction because He's the most dominant. So, of course, the crowd, who's very fickle, very young, very just want to cheer for everything, they just want to participate, these crowds, that's what you... Of course, they're going to get cheered the most. Because he looks bad. He looks like the winner, right? The crowd wants to go with the winner these days, right? One more time. One more time. Yeah, squash your baby faces one more time. That's smart. It's so asinine. And that's what I mean about ruining professional wrestling. Like pulling back the curtain, completely killing kayfabe with shows like Unreal. And Hunter is just willing to do it with a smile as long as the cameras are on him. No superstar can be created because Hunter won't allow it. When a star starts to be made, he's going to be put in with face versus face matchups. If it's a diabolical heel that's about to be made, he'll have him shaking babyface's hands like Gunther did with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Tap out in 8 seconds. He'll make sure that not a heel is able to be created. Not one that's going to out-heel the cerebral assassin Triple H. He'll make sure not a babyface is going to get over because nobody can be bigger than the company. Or, again, Triple H. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. No stars can be created this way. Hunter knows that. This is not a coincidence. It's not on a whim. This is done by design. It's internal sabotage. I used to say consciously or subconsciously, but I'm fully believing now that it is consciously being done. Because nobody can be stupid running a wrestling promotion to book individuals like this. Nobody can truly get over in Hunter Hearst Helmsley's WWE. Nobody can. You can have yeets and sing-alongs and catchphrases, but nobody can truly get over. And it's sad to say that. He's even found ways to water down Roman Reigns somehow. Wild, man. Absolutely wild. Swig of coffee, I guess we'll go, what was next? Was it the main event? Tables, ladders, chairs, tag team championships, because you can't give the Street Profits a WrestleMania match. Why would we do that?